My name is Katie Hubbs, and I am a hot glass show demonstrator here at the Corning Museum of Glass. The Corning Museum of Glass is located in Corning, New York. It was established in 1951. It was a gift to the nation from the Houghton family. They really wanted to showcase the science of glass, the history of glass, and the art of glass. I've been a glassblower for about 12 years, but I had no idea what glassblowing was until I was about 20. I didn't really go through any official apprenticeship program, but a lot of times I call it the unofficial apprenticeship. Glassmakers will go to different studios to work for other people, and then they are trained to work for that person, and then they move on to a new job or a new studio. So right out of college, I went to a hot shop in my hometown of Kansas City and worked for a friend for a few years. And that was a really great head start, I think. There's a lot of science involved in glassblowing. Physics, there's a lot of chemistry. In order to keep the glass on the pipe, you have to keep it turning. To gather glass out of the oven, you have to turn at a particular ratio. You turn at the rate at which the glass is falling. Hot glass is comprised mostly of silica sand, soda ash, and limestone, and that makes up the type of glass called soda lime glass. That's the type that we use in the hot shop to create art with it. That is also the most widely used glass in the world. Silica sand is a sand that is mined out of the earth, found everywhere in the world, and it can be easily cleaned and refined. Soda ash is a flux and it lowers the melting point, and then limestone is the stabilizer. The temperatures that the furnaces start at is 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit. We like to start at that temperature because the glass is very, very malleable, very gooey at that temperature. Any hotter and it's a little more difficult to gather out, so that viscosity is important. Any lower and you kind of get a lot of glass when you might want to get just a little. So it's a really good kind of middle grade temperature, even though it's very high. A lot of glassblowing is heating and then cooling and then heating and cooling. We gather glass out at a really hot temperature, we immediately start cooling it. Once the glass becomes more rigid than we need for a particular move, like stretching it or inflating it, we need to reheat it so that it will do what we need it to do. But when we go to inflate it or stretch it, we want to cool it in the areas we don't want it to inflate or stretch. So there's a lot to the cooling process with different tools, with metal or wet wood or newspaper sometimes. And where we cool the glass is really important. To inflate the glass, we use a stainless steel hollow blowpipe. The tip is preheated so the glass sticks to it. We inflate through the tube and into the glass, and that creates a bubble which then can be made into anything. It can be made into a vessel, a bowl, or even a sculpture. The pipe is hot only a foot away from where the glass is located and stuck to the pipe on the end. The rest of the pipe is room temperature. If we inhale or bring that air back through the pipe, it totally turns into room temperature air. That room temperature pipe cools that air down quite a bit. So to make glass color, you take those raw ingredients and you add metal oxide to it. A common one that we know of is green, and that's made with iron oxide. Iron oxide occurs naturally in sand, so a lot of the window panes and some of our pickle jars all have that green tint to it. Cobalt oxide makes dark blue, copper is a light blue, manganese makes purple, gold makes pink, and so on. We don't really do a lot of the color mixing as a glass maker. A lot of glass makers will buy color from color mixers or from chemists that make that. No matter what color the glass is, it always glows. When a material is really, really hot, the atoms and the molecules move so much that it emanates light. It's called black body radiation. So when you have blue, it looks orange. When you have pink, it looks orange. Some colors, when you're working with it, will stay a different hue. A lot of the warm colors, red, orange, yellow, will just look different. Blues might look a little green, your reds look brown, but your pinks and your purples always look pink and purple, and white does too. White will look white when you're working with it. We actually break a lot of our glass up to recycle sometimes, so we can recycle our clear glass and put it back into the oven. Demos definitely sometimes go awry, as things go, especially with this material. It's a very difficult material. So someone even with 25, 30 years of glass making can make mistakes. Glassblowing has taught me so much. It has taught me to be okay when things don't work out, and it has taught me impermanence. And these are very amazing life skills. I love my job. This is the best job a glassmaker can have, in my opinion. At my job, I get to blow glass every day. I get to talk about it every day. I really enjoy teaching people and educating people about glassmaking, showing it off. And I love being able to represent the museum, which is a really huge pillar in the glass community. Being an artist is so gratifying. It's difficult to become good in a niche, but once you are and once you're there and established, it's a very, very gratifying place to be. So as long as you have determination and skill that can just simply be refined, you don't have to be an amazing artist, just want to be good. You could do anything, really.